all eyes will be on Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana as he delivers the 2025 budget speech tomorrow. This comes after a surprise postponement of the original speech. We are now aware that the postponement was sparked by disagreement within the government of national unity. But the question is, will the budget bring much needed relief, or will it introduce severe measures like the proposed 2 percentage point VAT increase? While we are here in the streets of Johannesburg to speak to ordinary South Africans on what's at stake.
I love that we can have these type of debates and that we don't have a scenario where things are just dictated to us. And if there is a disagreement, it can be addressed in an adult way, in an adult fashion. And what I think about the 2% is I hope that doesn't happen. I understand that we need to stimulate the economy, but there's better ways for us to do it. Obviously, there's some costs that we can look at cutting. Obviously, everybody speaks about corruption and the impact of that on the economy, but creating more jobs, that is where it's at. And I feel like if we can just make sure that the message that we send to the rest of the world is that South Africa is open for business, we should be able to create those jobs and stimulate the economy.
I do think from a perspective of the VAT increase, I do think they should probably consider another way where they can, raise revenue. What's more critical, I think, is going to be the spending, particularly on, structural reform. I do think if we continue the way we've been doing, we're still going to find ourselves in the same situation. So how we address issues relating to rail infrastructure, water infrastructure, and more so just ensuring that there's at least marginal growth in the economy, not just having below 1%.
It's not a good idea. Times are tough. There's other ways they can do it, but not on the VAT. It's the poor people that's going to pay the most, and that's unfair. Corruption. Get the money back from the corrupt criminals. Then you don't have to increase that.
VAT increase is not on. I heard there's a rumor that maybe 0.5% VAT increase, but there's also the rumor that the DA and the ANC haven't agree on the budget yet. So we're going to wait for the best on Wednesday. We hope for the best.
My issue is that I'm really against the 2% increase, but the 0.2 points increase sounds like it's a good idea, and that's something that's fair. Otherwise, so I hope they find an alternative. That's what I'm hoping. I hope they introduce something else like a foreign tax so that they can maybe double the housing prices, and that can assist us with decreasing the cost of living for South Africans in general.
We're expecting a lot, especially in terms of the grants. Remember, those people, they are having nothing out of nothing. So at least if there can be some exposure to that or an increase, we would be happy.
If they do enforce 2%, it's going to be quite tough for quite a few South Africans. So I hope not, but we'll have to see what they say.
First of all, to hike VAT is going to be enormous. I've just come from SASA, trying to get an additional bit of relief from them, but that's not going to work. So it's really terribly, terribly difficult at the moment. Petrol goes up and goes down and goes up, and food prices, they say, are coming down, but they're not. So I don't know what the DA and the ANC and the others of the canoe are doing. We just got to hope.
But the VAT, for me, if you remember very well, it's, I think, under Ramaphosa's era. It's the second time where he's actually increased VAT. It was increased in 2018, and now he wants to increase it again. And it's actually ridiculous that he's actually increasing it even by 2%. Let alone that we have an unemployment of about 39%, and people are suffering in South Africa. Why do you want to recoup money from people, yet there's no employment?
Well, there you have it. South Africans are anxiously waiting to see what the 2025 budget speech will bring. Back to you in studio.
Thanks, Catherine Mawila.